Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let's chant one round of japa with Srila Prabhupada. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. श्रीमद् भागवत गीता as it is की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to another week of Srimad Bhagavatam for all. So we'll memorize a new verse this week, Bhagavad Gita 9:33. We completed 9:32. Mam hi partha vyapashritya yepi syu papayonayaha striyo vaishyas tatha shudras tepi yanti param gatim. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas and Shudras, can attain the supreme destination. So now we'll learn the next verse, 933. Please repeat after me. Kim punar brahmana punya bhakta rajarshayas anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasva mam. Kim punar brahmana punya bhakta rajarshayas anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasva mam. Kim punar brahmana punya bhakta rajarshayas anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasva mam. How much more this is so of the righteous brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. So in the previous verse, Krishna said that even those who are low born, if they take shelter in me, they can attain the supreme destination. If the low born can get the highest destination, can't the advanced people get the supreme destination? Who are the advanced people? The Brahmanas, the Rajarshis, saintly kings, and the devotees. What to speak of them? If the low born are able to get the supreme destination, then what to speak of the Brahmanas, the devotees, and saintly kings? Certainly, they will also get. That's the idea. So we'll begin reciting. Does anyone need to go first? Please raise your hand if you need to go first. Okay, then we'll just go in order. Achintadev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please repeat after me. Kim punar brahmana punya
Kim punar brahmanaha punya
bhakta rajarshayas tatha
bhakta rajasyas tatha
anityam asukham lokam
anityam asukham lokam
imam prapya bhajasva mam.
imam prapya bhajasvamam. Translation. How much more there is so of the righteous brahmanas, the devotees and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Aditi Lata Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Kim punar brahmana punya bhakta rajarsayas tatha anityam ashukham lokam imam prapya bhajasvamam. How much more this is so of the righteous brahmanas, the devotees and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arunita. Asukham lokam.
Sukam lokam imam papya bhajasvamam. Translation. How much more this is so of the religious
the devotees and the world saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service.
Yes, thank you. Invainia is not here. Isha, Krishna, Shish, Madhava, Rasapriya. Go ahead.
Kimpuna Brahmana Punya Bhaktarajarsayastata Anityam Asakam Lokam Imam Prapya Padasamam. How much more of this so as the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in long service unto me.
Kimpuna Brahmana Punya Bhaktarajarsayastata Anityam Asakam Lokam Imam Prapya Padasamam. How much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me.
Yeah. In Jai Ganesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Kim punar brahmana punya bhakta rajarshayastata anityam ashukam lokam imam prapya bhajasvamam. Translation. How much more this is so of the righteous brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. Others are not available.
Yeah. Kalpesh Prabhu and Sonia Mataji.
My humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Kim punar brahmana punya bhakta rajasya tata anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasvamam. How much more this is so of the righteous Brahman, the devotees and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, Sonia Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Kim puna brahmana punya bhakta rajarshayastata anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasvamam. Translation. How much more this is so of the righteous brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Usha Mataji and Medha. Not ready. Usha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all praise to Srila Prabhupada, all praise to the assembled devotees.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Kim punar brahmana punya bhakta raja rasyastata
Rajarshayas.
rajarshyastata anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasvamam. Translation. How much more this is so of the righteous brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me.
Thank you, Mataji. Medha? Oh, she's not there, right? Sorry. Priyanka Mataji?
Mataji, I'm here.
Oh, you're here? Okay.
Yeah. Kim puna brahmana punya bhakta rajarshayastata anityam asukam lokam imam prapya bhajasvamam. Translation. How much more this is so of the righteous brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me.
Yeah, thank you. Priyanka Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Kim punar brahmanah punya bhakta rajarshisthatha anityam sukham lokam imam prapya bhajasvamam. How much more this is so of the righteous brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary, miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. So, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that we saw in the previous verse, he said, those people who are degraded by birth, what was that? Mami Partha Vyapashrita Yepisiyu Papa Yonaya. Papa Yonaya means we said those who are low born, like the Chandalas, the Mlechas, the Yavanas, Andhras, Kulindas, Pukashas. So they're all low born. By birth, they are low born. They can be purified. And higher than them are the women, the Shudras and Vaishyas. Even they can be purified. Then what to speak of you, Arjun? You are a Kshatriya. You are superior to even all these other people. Certainly you will be purified. And not only that, those who are Brahmanas and those who are not just Kshatriyas but Rajarshis. You know, Rajarshi means they're kings, but they're actually saintly people in the role of a king, Rajarshi. So what to speak of them? So certainly you will be purified. So you just take shelter of me. That's the point. Right? Those who take shelter in me, even if they are low born, they will attain the highest destination. So if they can attain, then what to speak of you? You will certainly get. So you also take shelter of me. That's the point. So Saujanya Mataji, you'll also recite the verse.
Sure, Mataji.
Yeah.
1 minute. I just need to get my glasses. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. Sarvesh Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Kim punar brahmana punya bhakta rajarshayas tatha anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasavamam. How much more this is so of the righteous brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary, miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So let's read Srimad Bhagavatam now. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 24. Are we in 24? Yes. So we are reading about Matsya Bhagavan. So we saw how Satyavrat Maharaj got this little fish. The fish requested him to bring him, to protect him from the other bigger aquatics. So the king, who was very compassionate, he took great pleasure in giving protection to the fish, put the fish in a jug of water and brought him home. And when he brought him home and set him there in the night, when he woke up in the morning, what did he see? The fish got bigger and it couldn't move comfortably inside the jug. It got quite big, as big as the jug. So then the fish said, "O king, I'm not comfortable in this. I'm not able to move around. Put me in a bigger reservoir of water." So he put him in a tank. And then in a moment's time, it got big, like how much? 5 feet or something. So again he said, this is also small, right? So he put him in a well. That was also small. So then he put him in a lake. So the fish said, please put me in a bigger reservoir of water. So he put him in a large lake, and then he became as big as the lake. And he said, So finally the king put him in the ocean, because he got so big, like wherever he would put, he would become as big as that. And then when he was putting in the ocean, then the fish said, "Oh king, there are sharks in this ocean. They're going to kill me, save me." So now the king got all bewildered. And then he said that, who are you? Right? And the king actually understood that this is the Supreme Lord. This must be the Supreme Lord. Because I've never seen any fish as wonderful as this. And nor have I seen a fish which is growing at such a rate. So who else could this be? And then he started offering prayers to Matsya Bhagwan. What did he say? That you are the one who is the cause of creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this world. And let me see. Yeah. You are the leader and destination of your devotees. So please let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you. All your pastimes and incarnations are meant for the welfare of living entities. Can I know why you came in this form? What benefit are you intending for all the living entities in this form? And then, O Aravindaksha, O lotus-eyed one, how the worship of demigods is futile? Because after all that worship, you only get repeated birth and death. But because you are the best friend, well-wisher of all the living entities, when somebody worships you, that worship is never useless. It's not futile. Right? It's not futile. The results that one gets by worshipping the Supreme Lord is all auspicious. Whereas the results that one gets by worshipping the demigods is inauspicious. So now again, so you have come to do some auspiciousness, right? For the benefit of all living entities. What is it that you intend to do? So when Satyavrat Maharaj asked Matsya Bhagwan like this, Matsya Bhagwan began to answer. That we'll begin today, right? So, yeah. Text 32. Sri Bhagavanuvacha Saptame Hyadyatanaadurdhvam Ahanyetad Arindama Namangshatyapyayam Bodhau Trailokyam Bhurbhuvadikam. I think I sent a reminder about who's supposed to read today. Isha, Krishna Shish Rasapriya will begin reading.
Rasapriya read last time. Last one was Rasapriya.
Read again. No, we started another one, Mataji. We started a second round last time. I think we ended with you.
No, then Rasapriya read. I think they were there. That's why.
After you, Rasapriya also read. Okay. So then let's begin with the next person. Who's next? Kalpesh Prabhu. Or actually Jai Ganesh Prabhu. Well, that will be in bus, right? Okay, Kalpesh Prabhu, go ahead.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O King, who can subdue your enemies? On the seventh day from today, the three worlds, Bhu, Bhuva, and Swa, will all merge into the water of inundation.
So Matsya Bhagavan is saying, O king, who can subdue your enemies, on the seventh day from today. The seventh day is very significant. Parikshit Maharaj was also cursed like that, seventh day from today. So on the seventh day from today, the three worlds, Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha. So this is partial annihilation. Up to Swargaloka, everything becomes inundated. So when is this happening? This is happening at the end of Chakshusha Manvantara. So this is partial annihilation that takes place at the end of the Manvantara. So Matsya Bhagavan is saying on the 7th day from today, the 3 planetary systems, Bhu Bhuva Swaha. Bhu Bhuva Swaha. Bhu Bhuva Swaha is the middle. So there is 3, upper, middle and lower. So in the middle you have Bhur Bhuva Swaha. So these 3 will be annihilated. I'm sorry, inundated with water. The 3 worlds, Bhur Bhuva Swaha, will all merge into the water of inundation. Of course, when we say Bhur Bhuva Swaha, the lower planets are already counted there. So all from Swarga down, everything will be inundated. 33. Trilokyam Trilokyam Liyamanayam Samvartam Bhasivaitada Upasthasyati Naukachid Vishalatvam Mayerita. So, Sonia Mataji.
When all 3 worlds merge into water, a large boat sent by me will appear before you.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So on the 7th day from now, all the planets, especially Bhur Bhuva Swaha, will be inundated in water. It will merge underwater. And then there will be a boat sent by me. You will see a boat sent by me. What are you supposed to do at that time when you see this boat? Tvam tavad oshadhi sarva बीजान्युच्चावचानि च सप्तर्षिभिः परिवृतः सर्वसत्त्वोपबृंहितः आरुह्य बृहतीं नावं विचरिष्यस्य विक्लवः एकार्णवे निरालोके ऋषीणाम् एव वर्चसा. Next is Usha Mataji and Medha.
I can read Mataji. Translation. Thereafter, O king, you shall collect all types of herbs and seeds and load them on that great boat. Then, accompanied by the 7 rishis and surrounded by all kinds of living entities, you shall get aboard that boat, and without moroseness, you shall easily travel with your companions on the ocean of inundation. The only illumination being the effulgence of the great rishis.
Wow. So now the Lord is giving a task to do for King Satyavrata. O king, when you see this board, you collect all types of herbs and seeds and load them on that great boat. So when the inundation happens, I know, when we had a flood in Mayapur, what happens when there is a flood? Other plants also, like grasses and the shrubs, flower plants, all small ones, except for the big trees, they all die when there is a flood, when there is an inundation. Even tulsis, small tulsis, right? Tulsis are small. So when there's a flood, when they go underwater for 1 week, 15 days, when they're underwater like that, then everyone had to plant new tulsis. Only those who were living in second floor, third floor, they had their pots. So from that they have to start, and those who kept seeds, they have to start again. So now this is a universal annihilation, you can imagine, right? The whole ground is going to be inundated. The whole earthly planets. Bhur means all the earthly planets. Bhuar means it's a celestial region. Swarga is even higher. They're all going to be inundated. So the Lord is saying you collect seeds. So after the inundation goes down, now a new Manvantara will begin. So you will have seeds to start. Similarly, if you remember at the beginning of this kalpa, so at the end of previous kalpa, this demon Hayagriva had stolen the Vedas. Now to start creation again, Lord Brahmaji needs the Vedic knowledge. So Matsya Bhagavan again came by killing this Hayagriva demon, retrieved the Vedas and gave it to Brahmaji so that he can start again. So like that. So here also Matsya Bhagwan is helping at the time of annihilation. So he's telling Satyavrata Muni, not Muni, sorry, Satyavrata, King Satyavrata, that you collect all seeds and all medicinal, plants, herbs. So you can start again. So you collect all types of herbs and seeds, load them onto this great boat. A boat will appear in front of you. You load everything on this boat. Then, accompanied by the 7 rishis and surrounded by all kinds of living entities. So not only seeds, you also need people to start the new population. So you take the 7 rishis and you take all kinds of living entities, the different groups of living entities, different species, right? All kinds of living entities, and you get aboard that boat without moroseness, right? Oh, everything is getting inundated. So don't become morose. Without moroseness, very easily you'll travel with all your companions on the ocean of inundation. And what is the light for all of you? Will you see anything? The only light will be the effulgence coming from the Saptarishis that you're carrying on this boat. That will be the only illumination. Everything else is going to be dark. Next. So what all you're supposed to collect? Collect seeds, herbs, all types of living entities, and the Saptarishis, and get onto this boat. दोधूयमानां तां नावं समीरेण बलीयसा उपस्थितस्या मे शृङ्गे निबध्नीः महाहिना. Medha, you're there? Okay, I'll come back to you later.
No, Mataji, I'm here.
You're here. Yeah, go ahead.
Then, as the boat is tossed about by the powerful winds, attached the vessel to my horn by means of the great serpent Vasuki, for I shall be present by your side.
So the boat is in front of you. You should tie this boat, harness it, right? Tie it to the horn on this. So Matsya Bhagwan is saying he's in the form of fish. So I will be right there with you at that time. The boat will come, but I will also be there. So now you have to tie the boat to my horn. How will you tie it? What type of rope is sufficient to carry all the living entities or all types of living entities in the ocean of inundation? So you use the serpent Vasuki. You remember Vasuki? Where did we read about Vasuki? Unmute.
In the Samudra Manthan.
Samudra Manthan. So between when they were using the Mandara mountain to churn the milk ocean, and they were churning, they used Vasuki as a rope. So Matsya Bhagavan is saying, you tie that boat to my horn using this Vasuki again. Okay, next. As the boat is tossed, okay, next. Then as the boat is tossed about by the powerful winds, attach the vessel to my horn by means of the great serpent Vasuki, for I shall be present by your side. Aham tvam rishibhihi sardham sahanavam udanvati vikarshan vicharishyami yavad brahmi nisha prabho. Priyanka Mataji.
Pulling the boat with you and all the rishis in it, O king, I shall travel in the water of devastation until the night of Lord Brahma's slumber is over.
So what will I do after you tie the boat to my horn? I will pull the boat with you and all the rishis in it, O king. I shall travel in the water of devastation until the night of Lord Brahma's slumber is over. I'm a little confused here, but we will read the purport, because I thought Lord Brahma slept at the end of the Kalpa, and this is only the end of Chakshusha Manvantara. So Lord Brahma sleeps even after each Manvantara. Let's see. Purport. Saujanya Mataji. Are you
Yes,
able to read?
Mataji.
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji, I'm able to read. The particular devastation actually took place not during the night of the Lord Brahma, but during his day. For it was during the time of Chakshusa Manu. Brahma's night takes place when Brahma goes to sleep, but in the daytime there are 14 Manus, and one of whom is Chakshusha Manu. Therefore, Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur comments that although it was daytime for Lord Brahma, Brahma felt sleepy for a short time by the supreme will of the Lord. This short period is regarded as Lord Brahma's night. This has been elaborately discussed by Srila Rupa Goswami in his Laghu
Bhagavatamrita.
Bhagavatamrita. The following is a summary of his analysis. Because Agastya Muni cursed Swayambhuva Manu, during the time of the Swayambhuva Manu, a devastation took place. This devastation is mentioned in the Matsya Purana. During the time of Chakshusha Manu, by the supreme will of the Lord, there was suddenly another pralaya or devastation. This is mentioned by Markandeya Rishi in the Vishnu Dharmottara. At the end of Manu's time, there is not necessarily a devastation. But at the end of the Chakshu Manvantara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by his illusory energy, wanted to show Satyavrata the effects of devastation. Srila Sridhara Swami also agrees with this opinion. The Laghu,
You want me to read that? The Laghu Bhagavatamrita says.
Bhagavatamrita says, yes.
मध्ये मन्वन्तरस्यैव मुने शापान्मनुं प्रति प्रलयोऽसौ बभूवेति पुराणे क्वचिद् ईर्यते अयम् आकस्मिको जातश्चाक्षुषस्यान्तरे मनो प्रलयः पद्मनाभस्य लीलयेति च कुत्रचित् सर्वमन्वन्तरस्यान्ते प्रलयो निश्चितं भवेत् विष्णुधर्मोत्तरे त्वेतत् मार्कण्डेयेन भाषितम् मनोरन्ते लयो नास्ति मनवेदर्शि मायया विष्णुनेति ब्रुवाणैस्तु स्वामिभिर्नैष मन्यते. So this is said by Srila Rupa Goswami in Laghu Bhagavatamrita. All these quotes are given by Srila Rupa Goswami in Laghu Bhagavatamrita. What are the quotes? So first of all, here the translation is saying, Lord Matsya Bhagavan said, after you tie this boat to my horn, I will pull this boat like giving a ride, right? We'll be sailing on the ocean of devastation for the entire night of Brahma. And the only light, because it's night, so there's no light. So the only light will be the light coming from the bodies of the effulgence of the Saptarshis. And throughout the night, I will just take you around on the ocean. So here the question is, this is Chakshusha Manvantara. Chakshusha Manvantara is the 6th Manvantara. So 14 Manvantaras are happening during the day of Brahma. And here it is said, well, until the night of Lord Brahma's slumber is over. So it's like Brahmaji is actually, this is not his night, but night, what happens at night? You sleep at night. So here the point is Lord Brahmaji slept for some time during the day. Like when we are extremely tired, sometimes we may take a nap during the day, right? And when we sleep, then for us it's night because we are not aware of any other activity, nothing. We are just sleeping at that time. So by the Supreme Lord's will, Brahmaji actually fell asleep during the day for some time. So that is why, and during that time, when Brahmaji fell asleep means how everything will happen. There has to be a pralaya. When he sleeps, he's the one who is overseeing the whole thing. If he sleeps, then how the functions of this universe will go on. So that happened towards the end of Chakshusha Manvantara, Brahmaji falling asleep. So therefore, there is that type of pralaya which takes place at the end of Brahma's day. So that pralaya which takes place at the end of a kalpa, during that time, all the planets up to Swarga, from down up to Swarga, they're all inundated. So everything comes to a standstill. And even, so anyway, that pralaya will be discussed again further in detail. We will read when we come to the 12th canto. But this is not that pralaya. It's not that pralaya. But this is happening by the Lord's will. It is happening within Chakshusha Manvantara. That's what we should understand. But also it is said that there is pralaya, there can be pralaya on a smaller scale. At the end of Manvantara, at the end of 4 yugas, at the end of each yuga also. But at the same time, it is not necessary that it should always be there. Nor is it necessary that it cannot be there. That's the whole point. It can be there also. At the end of each yuga also there can be a pralaya. At the end of each manvantara also there can be a pralaya. But that pralaya is not on the same level as the pralaya that happens at the end of Brahmaji's day. And the final pralaya that happens at the end of this universal creation, that is a much bigger scale. At that time, even the subtle body and everything is annihilated. Annihilated means it just goes back into seed form. So that's a whole different annihilation. So here, this is explained as if it is the pralaya that takes place at the end of Brahmaji's day. Why it is explained like this? Throughout Brahmaji's night, as you know, when he's sleeping, I will carry you around. So is it Brahmaji's night? No. He's sleeping for a short time. So now, how can we accept this? We don't just make up any stories just to, fit in things. It has to be said in Shastra. That's when we will accept Shastra Pramana. It's not that we'll just come up with some explanation and we'll just fit it in there. No. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is giving commentary here. How do we know? Because Srila Prabhupada is writing in the purport and we know. And Srila Prabhupada is not saying on his own. He's quoting Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur on this particular verse. He comments that whatever we discussed, that for a short period, Brahmaji fell asleep. So you consider that as Brahmaji's night. Now, how Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is commenting like that, this is given in Srila Rupa Goswami's Laghu Bhagavatamrita. And how Srila Rupa Goswami is saying this, he is quoting from so many Puranas and so many scriptures. So, first of all, this is given in Matsya Purana, yes, about the devastation that took place in Swayambhuva Manvantara. So, again, even in that Manvantara, there was one devastation. Why there was a devastation in Swayambhuva Manvantara? Because Agastya cursed Swayambhuva Manu, therefore there was a devastation. And that is mentioned in Matsya Purana. What are we trying to prove? That sometimes even during the day there can be a pralaya, but there is a cause for that. There is a reason. One happened in Swayambhuva Manvantara because of Agastya's cursing Swayambhuva Manu. How do we know this? It's given in Matsya Purana. And who's quoting this? Srila Rupa Goswami in Laghu Bhagavatamrita. Further, he's saying, same in Laghu Bhagavatamrita, he's saying, in Chakshusha Manvantara, by the will of the Supreme Lord, there was suddenly another pralaya. Where is this given? Where is this mentioned? This is mentioned in Vishnu Dharmottara. So about the pralaya in Chakshusha Manvantara, we find in Vishnu Dharmottara. And within Vishnu Dharmottara, Markandeya Rishi is talking about this pralaya. Markandeya Rishi is talking about this pralaya that happened in Chakshusha Manvantara. So at the end of Manu's time, there is not necessarily a devastation. That's the point. It's not that every time there has to be a pralaya of this level at the end of Manu's time. Sometimes there may not be also, but it also doesn't mean that there cannot be. Right? It's not necessary that there should be a devastation. But there was a devastation at the end of Chakshusha Manvantara. How it happened? By the Lord's will, by his illusory energy. He wanted to show Satyavrata the effects of devastation. Why the Lord arranged this situation? Because he wanted to show Satyavrata Muni what happens when there is devastation. The Lord's just revealing. And then when he showed it to Satyavrata, King Satyavrata, now it's recorded in Srimad Bhagavatam. And now we understand what happens when there is pralaya. Like that. So he wanted to show King Satyavrata what are the effects of this pralaya. So therefore he arranged for this. So the same opinion as given by Rupa Goswami in Laghu Bhagavatamrita, quoting from Vishnu Dharmottara and from Matsya Purana, the same opinion is also given by Srila Sridhar Swami. Who is Srila Sridhar Swami? He is the original commentator on Srimad Bhagavatam. So these are the verses from Rupa Goswami's Laghu Bhagavatamrita. Whatever we have discussed in the purport, that's said here. Next. So after Saujanya Mataji, I think Achintadev Prabhu will start. Yeah. Madiyam Mahimanam cha Param Brahmeti Shabditam Vetsyasyanugrihitam me samprashnairvivritam hridi. Yes, Achintadev Prabhu.
A translation. You will be thoroughly advised and favored by me, and because of your inquiries, everything about my glories, which are known as Param Brahma, will be manifest within your heart. Thus you will know everything about me. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So, Matsya Bhagavan is still speaking that I will be carrying you throughout the night of Brahma. As long as he's sleeping, I will be pulling this boat on the ocean of devastation. You will be thoroughly advised and favored by me. And because of your inquiries, everything about my glories, which are known as Param Brahma, will be manifest within your heart. Thus you will know everything about me. So the Lord is being exceptionally favorable to Satyavrata, King Satyavrata, that you know for certain that I am favoring you, right? I'm especially inclined towards you. Matsya Bhagavan is saying to King Satyavrata, and therefore, whatever questions you ask me, in answer to those questions, I will reveal everything about my glories to you. That knowledge, that will be revealed within your heart, just like the Lord reveals to Brahmaji at the beginning of creation from within the heart. Similarly, by your inquiries, everything about me, actually I'm Param Brahma. Param Brahma, right? So, Brahma means what? Brahma means beyond the modes. So The absolute truth. Brahma means absolute truth, but absolute truth is understood in as Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. So the ultimate word in Brahman or Brahma, actually in Sanskrit you say Brahma. In English we write Brahman. Actually it is Brahma. But if you say Brahma in English, then you become confused between Brahma and Brahma. Lord Brahma and Brahma. So therefore in English, Srila Prabhupada writes Brahman, so that you know the difference between Brahman and Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma is a living entity. He is a Gunavatar. And Brahma is the absolute truth. So absolute truth is Brahma, and the ultimate word in absolute truth is Parabrahma. Param Brahma. Like Arjun says, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. Param Brahma means Krishna is the ultimate word, or Bhagavan is the ultimate word in Brahma. So I am Param Brahma. To realize Brahma, how much the Gyanis have to, right? Pantastu koti shatavatsara sampragamyo vayorathapi manaso munipungavanam. How difficult it is for so many years, I don't know how many years, thousands of years, they control their breath and they torture their bodies simply to realize that Brahma. That means realizing Brahma is not easy. And what to speak of Parabrahma? Vedeshu durlabham adurlabham atma bhakta. It is only possible to realize that Param Brahma by bhakti. Otherwise it's not possible. So I am that Param Brahma. Matsya Bhagavan is saying. And my qualities who will know? When I reveal to someone being pleased by that bhakti, by that person's bhakti, only then he will know about me. But that my qualities, which are Param Brahma, will be revealed to you within your heart by my mercy. When you have inquiries, all those will be answered by me from within your heart. You'll know everything about my glories, who am Param Brahma. So you'll know everything about me. Matsya Bhagavan is saying, purport. So yeah, Arunita or Aditi Lata Mataji, you can read.
As stated in Bhagavad Gita 15.15, Sarvasya chaham hridi sanvisto. No,
Annivishto.
the tune is okay?
Yes.
Okay. Sarvasya chaham hridi sanyavisto matta smritir jnanam apahanam cha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Paramatma, is situated in everyone's heart, and from him come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. The Lord reveals himself in proportion to one's surrender to him. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajami aham. In responsive cooperation, the Lord reveals himself in proportion to one's surrender. That which is revealed to one who fully surrenders is different from what is revealed to one who surrenders partially. Everyone naturally surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, either directly or indirectly. The conditioned soul surrenders to the laws of nature in material existence. But when one fully surrenders to the Lord, material nature does not act upon him. Such a fully surrendered soul is favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. Mam eva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. One who has fully surrendered to the Lord has no fear of the modes of material nature, for everything is but an expansion of the Lord's glories. Sarvam kalv idam Brahma. And these glories are gradually revealed and realized. The Lord is the supreme purifier, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. The more one is purified and the more he wants to know about the Supreme, the more the Lord reveals to him. Full knowledge of Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan is revealed to the pure devotees. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 10.11,
Okay, go ahete
Tesham evanukam partham aham ajnanajam tama nashayami atma bhavastho jnana deepena bhasvata. Out of compassion for them, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna. So yeah. So the Lord, the translation I told you already. So the Lord is going to reveal about his qualities to Satyavrata Maharaj. Why? There's one nice point, very important point. Srila Prabhupada is saying that which is revealed to one who fully surrenders is different from what is revealed to one who surrenders partially. Yes, everyone is surrendering. That is also said. Everyone surrenders either directly or indirectly. Remember, we read in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, that when they surrender out of less intelligence or poor fund of knowledge, when someone surrenders to the demigods, it is the Lord as Paramatma in the heart who is making their faith strong in worshipping that demigod. And then and with that faith, now they start worshipping, following the procedure of worshipping that demigod, and finally they get the result. And the result is also coming from the Lord only. The Lord gives it through the demigod. That's why it is said Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Everything is him only. But when we worship the demigods, or when we follow the government's laws, when we are obedient, uh, well, that's a whole different story. Now, when we say government's laws, the next question is who made these laws? If the government is obedient to the laws of the Lord, like when we have a Rajarshi, a king who is following the Vedic injunctions, a Vedic society, and you are obedient to the laws of such a government, then you are also obedient to the Supreme Lord. Indirectly, that's also indirect. You are being obedient to the king, and the king is obedient to uh, uh, the Lord, and by being faithful to the king, you are also indirectly being obedient to the Lord. So that's why either direct, but whereas if you directly surrender to the Supreme Lord, then that is directly surrendering. That is, you do Sakshat Bhakti, you hear about him, you bow down, Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. This is directly surrendering to the Supreme Lord, thinking about the Lord, chanting his names, bowing down before him, worshipping him, becoming his devotee. This is direct worship. Indirect worship means you follow your dharma of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra properly, and then you don't commit sinful activities which are prohibited in the scriptures. All this is indirect. And what to speak of, you follow, worship some demigods. This is also indirect worship. It's also indirect. But the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter also, yes, those who are worshipping the demigods are also worshipping me, because Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, everything is me only. Nothing is coming outside of him. Everything is coming from him. It is his energies. So when you worship one of his energies, some of his energies, that's also worshipping him only. But that type of worship is avidhi purvakam. It's not the right way, the proper way of worshipping him. It's not the right way of worshipping him. Krishna said that. So, but nevertheless, so that is also one type of surrender. Then somebody who surrenders like that, then he will give that much revelation to that person. Someone who directly surrenders to the Supreme Lord, then he gets more revelation. Things are revealed to him. So the realization is not the same. And even when you surrender to the Lord, you partially surrender to the Lord. Little bit of service to Krishna, little bit of service to my boss, little bit to the demigod, little bit to Krishna. It's not Ananya Bhakti yet. Then also, yes, the extent to which you are surrendering to him directly, to that extent, he will reciprocate. But you cannot compare it with somebody who is fully surrendered 100%. That is called Purna. When you get Purna Shraddha, then you get Sharanagati. Sharanagati means fully surrendered to the Lord. When you are fully surrendered to the Lord, then you are qualified to do Ananya Bhakti. And what type of realizations you get, what type of revelations you get when you're doing Ananya Bhakti, that is completely different from the revelations that somebody may get by partial surrender to the Lord. You get more revelation. And what is a symptom? Okay, let's see. What is the symptom? This is said in Shastra of somebody who has surrendered to the Lord. Srila Prabhupada said this in the purport also, what we read. But this is the conclusion of the Shastra. What happens when one surrenders to the Supreme Lord?
Detachment from the material.
No. You become fearless. You become fearless. So one who surrenders to the Lord has no fear, and one who has not surrendered, he will still be fearful. That's the point. You will become fearless when you surrender. That's that. So when you are dunked under water, if you are, chatpatana, you want to get out of that because you are fearful for your life, we can understand that I'm not surrendered. Of course, don't experiment it. It's obvious that we are not surrendered. But if sometime if I am under the illusion thinking that I am fully surrendered, then I can just test myself and see if I'm still fearful. One devotee asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, what does it feel like to be self-realized? Srila Prabhupada wait for, stopped for a moment and then he said, you become fearless. That's one incident. And another incident is his Grace Jananivas Prabhu was giving class, Srimad Bhagavatam class in Mayapur. And I was listening. And then he said, because in Mayapur you have Ganga, devotees go and take bath in the Ganga. So you go underwater, and if you feel like, right, so then that means you're not fully surrendered yet. So therefore, ours is it's a journey, right? We are trying to get that Purna Shraddha. It's rare, right? It's not a common thing to be a pure devotee. But we are on the path. We are on the path. We want to get there, right? We have to build our Shraddha. When we get Purna Shraddha, then we will get Sharanagati. When you get Sharanagati, you become fearless. I'll just read that purport again, what Srila Prabhupada said here about being fearless. See, the conditioned soul, everyone naturally surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, either directly or indirectly. The conditioned soul surrenders to the laws of nature and material existence, but when one fully surrenders to the Lord, material nature does not act upon him. Such a fully surrendered soul is favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, material nature does not act upon him. Material nature, see, one who is fully surrendered to the Lord has no fear. He has no fear because the material nature is not able to act upon him. He has no fear of the modes of material nature. For everything is but an expansion of the Lord's glories. Right? He sees, that's why for a pure devotee there is no material world because he's only seeing the Supreme Lord everywhere. And if he's seeing the Supreme Lord, where is fear then? No fear. Kunti Maharani also says, right? Give me these difficulties because in these difficulties we are calling out to you. And when we see you, that means no more seeing repeated birth and death. That means there's no material nature. When you face Krishna, Krishna Surya Sama Maya Hoy Andhakar. Krishna is like the sun. Maya or material nature is like darkness. When I'm facing the sun, is there any question of darkness? So a pure devotee who's fully surrendered to Krishna, he's always facing Krishna. For him, there is no material existence because the material existence, material world, the modes of nature cannot touch him. They cannot act on him. Therefore, he does not experience any fear. We only experience fear when we are under the grip of the material nature. These glories are gradually revealed and realized. That's also important. These glories are gradually revealed and realized. It's not that immediately now, I will realize all this. No, this is a path to become a pure devotee. The Lord is the supreme purifier. The more one is purified, the more he wants to know about the Supreme. So how do we know that we are actually moving in that direction? This is also, you know that you are moving in the direction towards pure devotional service when you are eager to hear more and more about the Lord. You are naturally eager to hear about the Lord in the association of devotees. You are hankering for that all the time. What is our state now? I don't know about all of you. I can tell you my state. My state is, I know that this is the way, so I force myself to hear. I won't say that I have a natural taste to hear all the time. But I know it's like, you know medicine. If I'm sick and I know I have this much faith that this is the medicine. And if I take this medicine, I will be cured. Whether I like it or not, I will take the medicine because I have faith that this medicine will cure my disease. So like that, our endeavor now is, I want to hear because I know this will take me towards pure devotional service. So I force myself to hear. Listen, like that. But when you are actually moving toward pure devotional service, how do you know? You will get a taste to hear. Like as soon as you hear anything about Krishna, anywhere anyone is speaking, you will be seeking that. You want to hear about the Supreme Lord. So that is a sign that you're moving. So that purport, let me just finish and then I'll take. So they will be revealed. So the Lord, Matsya Bhagavan is revealing to Satyavrata Maharaj in his heart, his glories. But they will be revealed and realized gradually. The Supreme Lord is the purifier. He is the supreme purifier. The more one is purified, the more he wants to know. That's the point. So the sign of being purified is we'll have a desire to know more about the Supreme. The more the Lord reveals to him, and the more we want, the more the Lord will reveal. Natural, right? You ask for more and more service, then you'll be given more service. And of course, you ask and you don't do that service, then what's the point? So the way to show the Lord that I want more is whatever is given to me, I will first grasp that. And then I will ask more, and then he will give more. So the more you are purified, the more you want to know about him. The more you want to know about him, the more the Lord will reveal about himself to you. And how I will be purified? The Lord will purify me. That means by bhakti. Yeah, when you start, bhakti means by sadhana, by hearing, by chanting, by association, then you are becoming purified. And as you are becoming purified by the Lord's mercy, so the Lord will act purifying you when you start bhajan. So you have to start chanting and hearing. By that, the more you are purified, the more taste you get to hear more. And when you ask for more, the Lord gives you more. And in this way, the Lord reveals himself. So Brahman realization is partial, but Param Brahman, Bhagavan, right? That is revealed to only pure devotees. Those Jnanis and Ashtanga yogis are also surrendered in another form. They are surrendered to Paramatma, surrendered to Brahman. But the revelation that they get is partial. The revelation that pure devotees get is complete. They'll get Bhagavan. तेषाम् एवानुकम्पार्थम् अहम् अज्ञानजं तमः नाशयामि आत्मभावस्थो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता. Yes. So I, dwelling in the heart, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Okay, so we stop there today. So Mataji read. So Arunita didn't read, right?
Yes, Arunti will read next class.
Okay, so tomorrow Arunita will read and then Inba. Okay. So now you have some questions. Kalpesh Prabhu?
Oh,
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu.
My question is like regarding the annihilation. It was not clear. In Bhagavad Gita, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, please tell me. It says that Krishna says, "I am the taste of water." Then sun is my eyes, moon is my eyes, kind of thing, right? So that when annihilation occurs, the material world, uh, this also get distracted. I mean, so if that get distracted, then somebody like I have a faith for Lord, but if somebody says the material world, then what happens to his vibhuti?
It's
Some
Vibhuti. Okay. So I am the taste of water. The taste of water is still there, but water is, how to tell you? Yeah, it goes back to him. Just understand it like that. It comes in just like, see, the Gunavatars are here, right? So the Lord's potency, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Brahma's creative potency is the Vibhuti, his creative potency. That does not mean now Brahmaji, he is a living entity, he has his karma and he will be judged according to his karma. But he is now creating by the potency of the Supreme Lord. On his own, he has no power. You understand? Just remember that analogy of a bicycle in India, you see, holding on to a lorry, a truck, and going at the speed of the truck. The bicycle on its own doesn't have the capacity to go that fast. But because now it's going at the speed of the truck, by the power of the truck, now it is empowered by the truck. By holding on, now I got like a current, right? I got the power of the truck and I'm moving at the speed of the truck. Although if I didn't hold on to the truck on my own, I'm just a bicycle. I'll just go at the speed of a bicycle. Similarly, Vibhuti means he is an ordinary living entity, but he is chosen. Again, why he is chosen? Because of his pious credits, he is chosen. But now he is empowered like an electric current that flows through him. So he's empowered by the potency of the Lord and he's doing extraordinary things. So that can be a person or even like water, right? The taste of water is the Lord's potency in that water, which is able to quench everyone's thirst. The light of the sun and moon, that light of the sun and moon is the potency of the Lord, which is actually able to nourish all life on this earth. So what happens when there is annihilation? The Lord's potency is withdrawn. It goes back to him because now it's not required. Now it's time for annihilation. And again, when it is needed, again he will give that power. Is that okay?
yes.
Yeah. So Aditi Lata Mataji.
Mataji, about fearlessness, there is fearless. We see some materialistic people also, at least in the young age, when they're teenagers or something like that.
Yeah.
You'll see that I can do everything. I don't care, like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas our devotee fearlessness also, I see. I mean, when they're crossing the road, will they cross that? Oh, I'm fearless and I'm not looking anywhere and crossing. No, right? So because you gave the example of go under the water, and you see how because the moment we will go under the water, that's it's not only for the fearlessness, it's just the body reacting, trying to resurface. So how can we see what is genuine fearlessness because of devotional service, because of the
Acha.
faith?
First of all, Mataji, there is two types of bliss, right? They say ignorance is bliss. Somebody, so somebody who is like happiness also. Yeah, bliss is happiness, right? Somebody who is fully knowledgeable, who knows something, he is happy. and he is confident. Just like when you go for an exam, this is something we can relate to. Somebody who is prepared very well, he knows all the answers to the questions confidently, he's going, that is one type of confidence. He doesn't experience any fear. And there's another person who doesn't know a thing, and he's just going there because he knows he doesn't know anything, and he's also experiencing fearlessness. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Somebody who has not studied anything, he'll just go, I don't care, jo hoga so hoga. Because that's another type of fearlessness. And then in between log, most of the people fall in that category. We know something, but we are not able to retain everything. We are fearful and we go. So now, if somebody says this person who doesn't know anything, he's also fearless. Somebody who knows something, he's also fearless. How do you know the difference? One is foolish, one is ignorant, and the other one is actually knowledge. That is the difference. So somebody who's saying that I'm also fearless, I know people who go on these motorbikes in full speed on highway, they are fearless, but that type of fearlessness is, yes, of course, that's also fearlessness, but that is foolish fearlessness. They don't have an idea what's going to happen to them after death. They're not doing it in that fearlessness is not in knowledge. That is foolishness. Sometimes people are fearless to commit suicide also. Sometimes people want to commit suicide, but out of fear they come back. Not sometimes, I think many times. Like they're so miserable, they want to end their life, but they're too afraid to face death. But some people are fearless enough to go ahead and do that. They do it. So you may say, oh, the person is fearless. But that fearlessness is ignorance. It's not done in knowledge. Here, fearlessness is in full knowledge, knowing that what can this material nature do to me? Because I have confidence in my Father, the Supreme Lord, like a small child holding on to the hand of the father, or a little baby who's in the arms of the mother, feels secure. Why? Because he doesn't worry about himself. He has no fear because he is protected by the mother. He'll sleep. There may be so much going on outside, but the baby is very comfortably sleeping because the baby has full confidence in the mother. That is the fearlessness of a devotee. His fearlessness is because he has confidence in the protection of the Lord. And where my Lord is the master of this material energy, what can this material energy do to me? Now, so you said sometimes devotees also, they're crossing the road and they don't care. That is not recommended. That's not recommended. Devotees, they, even if they have some powers, they don't misuse the power because of recklessness and carelessness. Whatever powers we get, we want to use those powers in Krishna's service. So therefore they are careful. They don't just go and put themselves like Raghunath Das Goswami. Of course, Raghunath Das Goswami's mood is not like that. But Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami is telling him that uh, he's sitting in hot sun and doing his bhajan, and then Radharani is coming and covering his head with her chadar because it's very hot. So then Sanatan Goswami, Rup Goswami, when they see, then they say, no, 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 you should not engage the Lord in your service. We are the servants. We should serve the Lord, not that we engage the Lord in our service. This is not right. So that is the mood of an actual devotee. So he never puts himself willingly, carelessly, go underwater and now just like, to test. I was just saying that I'm not saying that you go and test now whether you have or not. But I'm saying why you have to go underwater. Even you turn on the shower for a moment, when you're not able to take breath, you'll become nervous. My point was that we become nervous still. I'm not saying go and try that. But even without trying, we will face these situations sometimes. At that time, we will realize, oh, I'm still, holding on to this life and I'm fearful. Why am I fearful? Being fearful itself means I'm still in this bodily concept. That means I'm still under the grip of material nature. That is the point I'm trying to make. So it shouldn't be difficult. So if you have any ideas that no, I'm actually fearless, I'm a pure devotee, if you have such ideas, and then you're thinking, is this fearlessness because I'm a pure unalloyed devotee, or is this out of foolishness? Is that your question? Like, are
No,
you?
no, no. I was trying to understand that what is fearless, because we see both the sides, as you said, in ignorance.
For
Also.
devotional service, yes, like Srila Prabhupada. At that age, he came with no support. This is fearlessness. And this fearlessness is because of full confidence. So for himself, he won't care. But his every second, he won't waste even a single moment or a single paisa, seeing that this is the Lord's energy. He won't waste it on himself, but he will take care of the Lord's things so nicely, and he will give whatever he has, his time, his energy in the Lord's service. So they'll go hand in hand. So how to recognize if even somebody is a devotee? Is he actually being fearless out of foolishness, or is he being fearless because of his advancement in Krishna consciousness? How to recognize? If you're saying, you will see how much he's engaged in Krishna consciousness. Look at that. So if he is constantly 24/7 engaged in serving Krishna, if his consciousness is always like that, and then he doesn't care, like the Goswamis, they don't eat, they don't sleep, but because they don't have time to do that, they're so absorbed in serving Krishna, they see this as, an obstacle. Yes, then you can say this fearlessness is because now they are in pure devotional service. But otherwise, they're still having material attachments, and they like this, that, and all that, enjoying in this life. And also they're acting, they have girlfriends, and these people who go on bikes, right? They're enjoying intoxication, everything, and then they're going fearlessly. That fearlessness, you understand, it is foolishness. And same even with devotees, if you see, they still have material attachments and this and that, and then they're trying to show that they are, we shouldn't say devotees, let's say aspiring, like in the neophyte stage, right? Like foolishly, if somebody thinks that I'm already a pure devotee and then trying to show that I'm fearless, then you can see by seeing how much they're actually absorbed in Krishna conscious services, then you can understand.
Yes, Mataji. Also, about surrender. How do we surrender? I mean, how do we surrender that way? Because that way surrender we see in the Goswamis and all, of course, and the
Yes,
Prabhupada and all. But
yes,
we are working, we are, even household work, and we are always. And I know you will say that gopis, they used to work, but they are
yes.
absorbed in Krishna. So
Bhaktivinoda Thakur,
yeah.
he had children, family, he was a magistrate. So 2 points here. I am not able to do, very good, accepting that. But to say because I'm not able to do, nobody can do, no, we cannot say that. We have examples of people who have done that. So now our step should be, how did they do it? Right? How did they do it? I also have the same 100 years, or even I don't know if I have 100 years. I also have a family. They have a lot more that they are doing in this world than I am doing, and still they are so Krishna conscious. How did they do it? That's the question. So that's what you're also asking. How to surrender? So there is a procedure. We cannot jump over and all of a sudden get, because everyone likes the result, right? Somebody comes first in class, somebody comes first in the university, gold medalist, everyone is attracted. Wow, I want that post. But to come to that post, how much the person had worked, that nobody saw. All night long he's sitting up and he's studying and prepare. He sacrificed so many, going out to parties and this and that, festivals, but he put all time. All that nobody sees, everyone sees the result. So to be there, what do we have to do? There's a procedure to come to that level, to get that type of surrender. That surrender will come when you get full shraddha, purna shraddha. Purna shraddha, how you will get? What you're doing now, here, again and again, here in the association of devotees, and everything is given utsahat, with enthusiasm, and you have that already. Every morning, every evening you come without fail, you join. So utsahat, nishchayat, dhairyat, nishchayat, right? You be confident, this will work. And at the same time, patience, right? Yeah, it will work, and it may take, like Mukunda, right? 10,000 lifetimes, it's okay. 10,000 lifetimes is what? Ultimately, I will get it. Look at that enthusiasm. Look at that confidence and look at that patience. So we need to, when we have these qualities, and also to help this, right? You follow whatever tat karma pravartanat, whatever injunctions are given in the scriptures, rules and regulations are given, you follow them enthusiastically, because this is, we must follow these rules and regulations strictly. Rising early in the morning, Mangalati, endeavor for that. It didn't happen yesterday, let me try again tomorrow. It didn't happen again, let me try again, but not giving up. Keep endeavoring, and that endeavor is very attractive to Krishna. Result he will give anyway, but from our side, he wants to see that failure after failure. Look at Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrita. Failure after failure, failure after failure. What do I have to lose? Until I have this last breath, until I have any energy left in this body, whatever time I have in this life, I will keep trying to serve Krishna in whatever capacity. That type of determination. And what do we have to do? Chant Hare Krishna, hear, and then tell someone. That's all. These few things. And somehow or other maintain yourself in this life. And that is very pleasing to Krishna. And by this, you don't even realize when you actually become a pure devotee. That's what I heard, right? I heard from devotees, they must be pure devotees, because I heard sometimes some Maharajas say that one fine day you won't even realize when you got it, and all of a sudden it'll be like, won't even realize means when you least expect it. That because you are always, and I heard it from Jananivas Prabhu also, right? You are so absorbed in endeavoring to do devotional service, you won't even look at what result is coming from that, because your focus is on devotional service. The moment you start enjoying the result, then you fall off from that platform. The moment you start enjoying that, oh, I'm here now, now you're not on that platform anymore. You'll be on that platform as long as you're endeavoring. Therefore, be attracted, be attached to the endeavor of devotional service. Don't be attached to the results that are coming from devotional service. As soon as you think, oh, this is coming, and you try to enjoy it, now you're not a servant anymore. Now you're the enjoyer. So our attempt should always be keep trying to do service. Keep trying to do service. We have to, get into that mode. And of course, we are not the doers. We are endeavoring, certainly, but it comes by Krishna's mercy. That's the beauty of bhakti. When we are endeavoring sincerely, at every step, He's guiding us, He's giving us. I don't know. Was that helpful? Aditi
Yes,
Latama.
yes, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank
We
you.
need to actually brush up these things again and again. So
I know. Yes. Yeah, we do. Thank you for asking.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Saujanya Mataji. And then Achal.
Just a very quick note, Mataji, when you were telling about the difference between like ignorant, fearless being ignorant, I remembered even Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, one day he was in the, when somebody entered in his room and he was with a gun, and then Srila Prabhupada said, I just took the box in a way, his belongings where he keeps his Bhagavatam and typewriter, and I just ran. Because he didn't expect that that person came, and he was with the gun and he was drunk, like that. So why did Srila Prabhupada run away? Not because he doesn't have faith, but I don't know how to put in the words, but
I'll put it for you.
sorry.
Yes. So this is another thing. What is the intention? Bhavagrahi Janardana. Krishna is looking at the intention. You can look at the gopis also. Why they dress up so nicely? They decorate themselves so nicely. They want to look very beautiful. Why? Why do ladies now dress up nicely? You tell me. You want to look nice, and you want everyone to take note of how beautiful you are, how nice your clothes are, that is your personal enjoyment, by the way. You want people to look at you, and you want to look the most beautiful, and you want to enjoy that position. Is it the same thing with the gopis? They are also dressing nicely. They're going to. No. Whatever, every single thing that the gopis do, it is meant for Krishna's pleasure. They dress up nicely because this will make Krishna happy. That's why. If it made Krishna happy seeing them wearing torn clothes, they will very happily wear torn clothes and go. They are not attached to being nice or looking. They are attached to Krishna's happiness. This is Brajbasi. Now, if Srila Prabhupada, he is seeing, now that I am seeing like this, Srila Prabhupada is saying that this body is meant for Krishna's service. I am doing so much service. This person has come to end this body, and I have so much service to do in this body. I am protecting this body to serve Krishna. That is also devotional service. Not that I'm experiencing fear for my life. What will happen after I die? No. A devotee is pure devotee is fully confident. After I die, Krishna is there for me. I don't have to worry. But this, whatever I have, whether it's his life, whether the money that he has, he's serving Krishna, who's the husband of thousands of goddesses of fortune. Why he has to write, keep a diary of this much paise I spent on rickshaw and this much? Why? Krishna has so much money, right? But everything is Krishna's energy. Everything is meant for Krishna. That is their thing. So my life is also meant for Krishna. This life should be protected. This money should be protected because it is Krishna's energy. That is the consciousness of a pure devotee. Now, this is another thing we can test ourselves and see how much are we concerned. Sometimes we may be concerned about our things in our home. This should be nicely kept and this should be protected. But am I really doing it because this is Krishna's energy? We have to ask ourselves. Nobody can judge from outside why you're doing what you're doing.
The consciousness.
Consciousness. Krishna knows, you know. Similarly, pure devotee also from outside, we may not be able to find out why he's doing that. So it may look like, oh, he's also trying to save his life. Someone else is also trying to save his life. What's the difference? What is his consciousness? Why he is doing what he is doing? That's important.
Yes, thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Achintadev Prabhu.
Mataji, talking about fearlessness, I know about a devotee couple who were asked by Guru Maharaj to come to India and stay there and learn preaching, etc. So they left everything in US, sold everything, put their son in a college hostel, and went to India and stayed there for a year or so in separate ashrams. And then after a year, Guru Maharaj told them to go back to US and preach. So do we call this as fearlessness and devotion complete?
Of course, when the spiritual master told you to do something, you surrendered to his order, and they did that. And now the spiritual master is saying, now you go back and you preach. Yes, of course, from the side of the devotee, it is surrender. So yeah, but surrender, see, when you do surrender, it will, when you're fully surrendered, so is this full surrender or not? Maybe it is, but the result of surrender will be, you'll begin pure devotional service. Then immediately when you say pure devotional service, then you have to apply that definition. Anyabhilashita shunyam, you have to check what was the, so that third step is satisfied. Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam, you are carrying out the order favorably, that is satisfied. Now the other two are satisfied or not, that they have to see. So one thing is anyabhilashita shunyam. Why am I doing this? Do I have something else, some other motive in doing this? And second one is jnana karma dhyanavritam. Only bhakti he is doing, he is not doing any jnana, any karma. So you said they sold everything, so they're not working outside, they're not concerned about their maintenance or anything, they're simply doing. So as I said, all these are helping us move closer and closer. But exactly when they got that full surrender and they entered into Ananya Bhakti, that they will realize and Krishna will reveal. to each one of us when we actually get there. From outside, how we can judge? We cannot judge from outside. The person's consciousness may be there, but externally, even if somebody is working also, actually, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, to the world it looks like he has a family, he's maintaining 10 children, 11 children, and he's working, he's earning money. So can we say from outside, because he's still in family and he's still working, so he's not surrendered? From outside, it may look like that. He's doing karma, he's working, that is karma. Even if you're doing karma, if your consciousness is always in Krishna 24/7, you are a pure devotee. Then why you're doing karma if you need to do only why you're doing to set example to others? So therefore you cannot judge from outside, this way or that way. You cannot say because he did this, now he's Ananya Bhakta. Because when you say that means it's surrender, yes, it is surrender. Is it full surrender or not? We cannot judge. Because Ananya Bhakti begins only when you do full surrender. But like this, we do bit by bit. Mataji was asking, Aditi Lata Mataji, how do we do this surrender? Step by step. And it's not that because for that devotee, that was the situation, so now I will also imitate. I'll leave everything, I'll go there because this is surrender. No. What is surrender for him may not be surrender for you. For you, staying at home and taking care of your things, that may be surrender. So, basically, surrender means giving up faith in anything except service to Krishna. It's a state of your consciousness. And that consciousness will reflect in your activities also. No more faith, no more taste, no more attachment to anything save and except service to Krishna. That can be preaching, that can be giving up family, that can be staying in family, that can be giving up work, that can be doing your work. How do you know? Certainly, if it's coming through Guru, that's good. Then you understand that you are going on the right path. So that's a sure way to know that a bona fide Guru who's guiding you in your spiritual life. Then that's a very good situation. And has he already reached to full surrender or not? Cannot be judged by anyone. The Guru will know. Krishna will know. He will also will understand from within his heart. As a third person, we won't be able to judge. Was that okay? Achintadev Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. And there is another group of people who want to ask the Guru Maharaj what they want to do, but they are fearful that the Guru Maharaj might say something that
They won't be able to do.
they would not like to do or won't be able to do.
Yeah, that's also there. And then obviously they're not surrendered. Obviously they're not surrendered. They're afraid to ask means what? That means I still have some attachment. I don't want to do. Surrender means whatever you say, I will do. That is surrender. Sarva dharman parityaj, especially with the Guru. And I mean, nowadays, because the situation is such, right? We don't even get such personal association and personal instructions from the Guru so much. But the general principle is there, general instructions are there for all devotees. Most of the time, the spiritual master gives the same instructions which Srila Prabhupada gave to everyone. And when we follow those instructions, the general instructions sincerely, then we will elevate to a certain level and then we become qualified to receive some personal instruction. And when that does come, a personal instruction, we should hold on to it. Of course, that won't be against the general instruction. That's another way to check. Sometimes you get some personal instruction which is, then this is not maybe you have to check with others also in case if it is like that. But usually it will not go against the general instructions. But that personal instruction, individual instruction will come when we do this first, right? You finish your primary properly, then you go to next level of education. Or so like that, when we are advanced, then we get personal. So before doing this properly, I didn't even get proper Shraddha to do my things here. I'm still attached and now I want some personal instruction from Guru. And when he gives and then I'm like, oh, I don't want to do, that becomes aparad, Guru Avagya. That's why very quickly Gurus also will not give personal instructions, because after he tells them to do something, if they don't do, that becomes a block, an obstacle in your progress, because you have you have not done what you're expected.
In fact, Mataji, I think Guru Maharaj have that vision that if they see the particular person, they will not give any personal instructions because they understand they are not even following the general instructions.
Exactly. Yes. Yes, that's true. Like that. Yeah. So we don't have to worry so much about personal instruction. We'll just carry out the general instructions first to the best of our capacity. And it's not necessary that the Guru has to externally also say, Krishna can reveal, Guru can reveal through, like Srila Prabhupada. His spiritual master was not even on the planet, but somebody told him, just magazines, if you publish, people will throw them away. You print books, then people will keep books. Srila Prabhupada took this as his Guru Maharaj's instruction. This is my Guru Maharaj's instruction. So Guru Maharaj's instruction can come in so many different ways. It can come from another Vaishnava. This person may not even be a Vaishnava. It may just be somebody he met in the park who just suggested. So Krishna is there all the time guiding us. He can speak to us in so many different ways. And if we are sincere, we can also catch that. Oh, this is coming from the Lord. This is coming from the spiritual master. So yeah, our bread and butter, as they say, is our general instructions, right? Chant Hare Krishna and follow the regulative principles. Hear Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam, share it with others. These are general for everyone. Like that. So we'll stop here. It's way late and we are not going to read Bhagavad Gita Lilamrita today. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for staying back.